Okay, hopefully this won't contain any false starts, as has been my wont to try and fix all the problems that start at the beginning. Hello everybody, and welcome to my Let's Play of Sherlock Holmes vs Arsene Lupin, otherwise known as Sherlock Holmes' Nemesis. Yes, I've finally gotten around to it, and why? Because Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments is coming out this month, and you know, I thought I might as well finally finish this series before the new one comes out. Yes, let's start a new game. Oh, hello. We appear to have a whole bunch of clues. You are undertaking to portray Sherlock Holmes, the famous consulting detective of 221B Baker Street, London. During this case, you'll demonstrate both sagacity and calm. Observe well the items around you and don't hesitate to click on them once you have the required information. You'll obtain comments that will help you in your hunt. You're basically telling us how to play these games even though we've been... Never mind. Do not forget to interrogate anyone who may be able to inform you. Choose the right questions and pay heed to their answers. Assure yourself that you aren't caught short by your adversary. Oh dear, has he been spying on us in the bathroom again? Arsene Lupin will throw a number of challenges at you which will demand you are subtle and methodical. Thus, in the course of your investigations, you will have need of pencil and paper. Certain riddles will require reflection worthy of your hero. It will be challenging. At certain moments, you'll need to type a keyword in response to a question in order to continue the adventure. You are at liberty to consult your notes in order to help yourself. Do not forget to read the documents that you will have gathered and glance through Sherlock's notes. They are all important. In order to advance your inquest, you will have at your disposal plans and maps which will permit you to teleport. The powers! You're in character here. Sherlock Holmes can also teleport. Did you not know that? Yes, it's in the books. By clicking on given points, you may equally make your character run by double-clicking with the left mouse button. England's honour is at stake. Do not disappoint your adversary. We once again get a lovely shot of Baker Street. But this time it's in the day. So it seems to alternate between being like... Well, it's a nice clear sunny day at least. There's good old Barnes. And if you look to your right as we turn off Glenwood Street, you can begin to see the entrance to Baker Street. Now if we go past the Golden Lion, if you look to your left, you will see Baker Street. And 221B is the home of the consulting detective Sherlock Holmes. This will conclude this part of the tour. Please wait for the next bus. Is that the beep beep guy? Yes! Chase down that vile little creature. He's the next Moriarty, don't you know? More violining, Holmes. Jesus. Never leave that thing alone. Don't pay attention to me anymore.
It looks to be the beginning of a lovely day, Holmes. There's nothing like beginning the week with a sunny Monday, with nothing more pressing to do than to see what came in the post. Would you care to take a ride up the Thames today?
Is that a euphemism, Watson?
I think not, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, your mood has been getting progressively worse for the past 2 weeks. I know you, and I am certain that something is bothering you. It wouldn't be bad news from Switzerland, would it?
We would already be on a boat heading towards the continent were that the case, my dear Watson.
Very well, then, what is it? Let me guess. For the past 2 weeks, the papers have talked of nothing other than this French thief, Arsene Lupin. He's been making all of the police officers on the continent look like complete idiots. You're taking an obvious pleasure out of reading these articles.
Ha ha ha, foreigners.
Dear Watson.
I've put my finger on it, haven't I? I know you well. Something tells me that you will not entertain talk of this Lupin for some time. Do you recall his latest feat? Using an alias, he seduced a young Italian princess in order to rob her of a priceless set of diamond jewelry that once belonged to the Medicis. These
The
jewels
Medicis?
were to be part of the lady's dowry on the occasion of her marriage to the son of a wealthy,
The
influential
Medicis.
Sicilian.
It's the
Finally,
Medicis.
our friend, having committed his crime,
Watson, you
left
slut.
word for the local press, explaining that there was no other way for the charming lass to escape a marriage of convenience with I quote, an uncultivated and uncouth boor without the least refinement. Since then, the lady has been confined to a convent, and rumour has it that the two outraged fathers have jointly offered a sum of countless millions of liras for the head, the rest of the body being optional.
Oh
The
dear.
man who is responsible for their dishonour. Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? Why, another letter from the zoo about those missing birds, as if we were going to be running around the whole of London chasing chickens.
I've got a big enough cock to
As I
deal
was
with
saying,
here.
Are you acquainted with the reputation of the Italian criminal milieu? This Arsene Lupin must be in hiding somewhere, surrounded by bottles of champagne and stolen treasures. How foolhardy and arrogant. Oh, these French.
Haha, the
However,
French are
he
so
didn't
funny.
pursue this foolishness to the point of risking stepping onto British soil.
Has the cat got your tongue, Watson? What?
Or has it dug its claws in your leg? I think he's choking.
Whatever is the matter with you, Watson? Pray tell.
I'm having a heart attack, Holmes.
On the table. Holmes, read it.
I can barely speak. I control Sherlock Holmes. Oh, how I've longed to do this. Again. Double blah, blah, blah. July the 14th, 1895, Arsene Lupin's threat. Dear Mr. Holmes. Okay, sorry, I was doing that in completely the wrong accent. Bloody hell, this is going to go on for a bit. My apologies, this. Before I begin, please excuse any grammatical or spelling errors that you might have noticed. Your language isn't my native tongue, as I have come from the continent, France to be exact. Yes, I am doing an Inspector Clouseau, deal with it. In addition, my singular subjects of conversation, whether they be oral or written, are the most exquisite food and wine, the noblest arts, and the sublimest women. The whole world knows that you, people of her most gracious majesty, do not produce or even discern any manifestation of aesthetic intelligence and civilization that set apart men from beasts. Thus, the opportunity to practice your language is sporadic and brief. What use is there to linger with the lackey or maid? But look, I see I have made a mistake, or rather an execrable mistranslation. I said you, people of her most gracious blah blah blah. I should have said the people of blah 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 other than you. How can I include you in this half-ruddy-faced, half-pallid crowd reeking of brine and cheap beer? Oh, he's striking right at the heart now. You stand apart, an icon. Having followed your exploits for some time and began interest in your unusual personality, I started to see you as a man of intelligence, ingenuity, and singular refinement. The incredible results in your activity and manner in which you achieve these are marked with the seal of genius. Believe me, despite the lamentable opinion that I hold for the inhabitants of your island, I have for you an admiration without limit, which reached its apogee recently when I discovered you have a French ancestor. Oh, there we go. What unlucky stars brought you to the world elsewhere than in the motherland? The motherland I call my own. That should have been your own? Perhaps the gods desired that your presence on this island bring up the intellectual average that was so low it bordered on the absurd. Ooh, I say, steady on, old chap. The business that brings me to write this letter may bring an answer to this question. You see, the events without antecedent will occur in London in the week to come, beginning on the very night of the day on which you read this letter. Unless you happen to be out, in which case I will have to delay my... I will have to check with the postman. I don't know. I just have to pray at your home. The purpose of these events is to bring to light a fraud, the arrogance and vanity of the English. That's not a fraud. We're well known for it. Enough of the haughty, boring composure that the English present us when passion should be freely expressed. Enough of the derisive confidence in England's impregnability. Look, I swear I wore protection. which is displayed by all of your politicians and soldiers. The English fortress is being protected by sea serving as moats. Enough of your supposed symbols of majesty and grandeur of spirit, which are in fact merely the fruits of looting and plundering, which is what I do as well. England has measured the world by its stingy superior smile for far too long. Thus I, Arsene Lupin. Is it Arsene. He can't even spell his own name right. Jesus Christ. Oh, bloody French. I've pledged to get rid of this smile. To that end, in the week to come, I pledge to steal 5 of the most representational symbols of the alleged English grandeur here in London. Once these auspicious achievements have been accomplished, I will exhibit the trophies for the world to see and will reveal the smallness of a nation incapable of preserving its pride. Whereas France didn't have any to begin with. Oh, take that, Arsene! England will become the laughingstock of all nations, from the largest to the smallest, and will have to swallow its pride and lower its head for millennia to come. Imagine these self-righteous and perfidious faces who ordinarily parade the fact that they are one of Her Majesty's people will henceforth hide their origins. Being English will no longer be grounds for pride, but rather shame. In brief, the debt will be paid. And then, in 20 years' time, when we go to war with Germany, you will no longer choose to help us, and we will be... Oh, shit. Oh, I feel like I have really done something that I did not think through. Oh, mon Dieu. You are perhaps asking yourself why I have chosen to share with you my vision, which many who do not know me would consider mad. After all, if my former praises are well-founded, you are certainly the only person in England capable of stopping my plan. Like myself, you are fully aware of the inefficiency and the flagrant lack of imagination that plagues your police service. The reason for this letter is eminently narcissistic. No exceptional artist desires to produce their work for an uncultured public incapable of appreciating the true value of his prowess and talent. In you I have found the ideal spectator, and I wish for you to follow the stages of my consecration step by step. In fact, I would almost wish for you to put yourself in my path and in vain to stop me from committing these thefts. But you are a busy man who doesn't like defeat. What a sham! If, despite everything, the adventure tempts you anyway, I shall leave you with a few verses that deal with tonight's target. All across France, everyone knows in the Blind's kingdom you only need one eye for the crown. You treat us like blind men, it shows 'twas a one-eyed, one-armed man who brought us down. Oh, that's Nelson's column. I've already figured it, it's Nelson's column. It is true that we failed, though we tried again. Our fate was nailed, his immortality our pen. One of the Spanish capes, the detestable pride that hangs around you like drapes, our suffering makes you snide. An adversary came along in order to protect victory. We were put in the wrong and the day made history. Save the pain and defeat, the worst in this game is that the hero we did meet carries a French name. Clearly did vengeance sound what I have in mind for this traitor. Sitting at his master's feet like a hound is to be run aground. On my honor, tonight to hand, I will break free the binding, so that all our understandings, our victory will take wing. Arsene Lotin Bo. Okay then.
Holmes, this is truly unbelievable. Surely this cannot be taken seriously.
It's possible, Watson, that this letter is nothing but a prank. However, a small chance exists that both the challenge and the threat are real.
What will you do?
First, I'm going to enjoy the breakfast Mrs. Hudson has prepared. If you would be so good, Watson, as to clarify some of the riddles in the letter. Firstly, if Arsene Lupin is actually the author, as he states, why does he sign with another name? When it comes to the poem, even if an answer seems straightforward, we must be quite certain. What would the target of tonight's theft be if this letter turns out to be accurate? We have one day to find the solution and to take preventative measures. You could go see Barnes, the bookstore in Glentworth Street. Surely they'll have something that would be informative.
It's Nelson's column. I'm fairly certain that's all it could be, is Nelson's column. Oh, but be careful, you don't want to...
Holmes's violin.
Just felt like pointing that out there.
What? This accursed statue is still here?
Ooh.
I've asked Mrs. Hudson to remove it for us.
Growls at me. Bad Cthulhu, bad. Yay! Oh, this is fun. I'm Don Watson. I work for Sherlock Holmes. Yee! Okay, moving on.
Ooh, the adventure of the dancing men. I recall. Holmes's table for experiments. A motley collection.
A motley crew, as it were. Ha 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 ha.
It was in this statue that we found the famous black pearl of the Borgias.
I'm fairly certain Holmes smashed the statue.
Treaty on Cornish, the Celtic language of the Cornish people.
What is this obsession with the Cornish
pottery.
people and medieval pottery?
Holmes has an interesting taste in reading.
And friends. Oh, hello, there's everything over here. I know we've done this all before, but you know,
It's
might
the
as well.
steel harpoon that pierced Black Peter, master of the sea unicorn. Terrible memories.
Master, I shall use that phrase now. I am master of the sea unicorn. You
It's
will
a
bow
clay
before
bucket in
me.
which Holmes stores his cigars. What a strange idea.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten used to it after living with him for 20
The
years.
Reichenbach Falls. What an awful memory.
How terribly difficult to pronounce.
Colonel Gordon. It was during the affair of the lodger in treatment.
What?
My eccentric companion keeps his shag tobacco in the toe of
As-
this Persian slipper.
His shag tobacco. That's what he calls it.
This is how Holmes organizes his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that.
But they don't look when they come in, apparently.
I am not ready yet, Watson.
Leave me alone, Watson! I'm getting changed! I'm in my unmentionables. Okay, then. Well, let's see if Watson can be of some use at some point in this. That's quite nice that there isn't like a loading screen, that all this is one... That's actually quite nice.
I have no interest in going there.
Of course, I went the wrong way. It's all like one big it's all one big thing, apart from that massive invisible wall over there.
No, I have nothing to ask you.
Nothing to ask this wretch. And that's where the affair with Cthulhu began, over here. Wonder if there's anything mentioning it as I approach. Probably not. Nope. Let's quickly have a look back here, because...
No, I have nothing to
Nope.
ask you.
Okay. Just curious to see what throwbacks are. Can we go in the pub?
No, I have nothing to do in this hovel.
Oh! Suddenly Watson's got some kind of class. I'm not going in that hovel. Now, where's the prostitute den? Let's go into Barnes the bookseller, shall we?
Poor Barnes should hire a cleaning lady. Oh, what a mess.
Why a lady, Watson? You sexist pig. Watson, you misogynistic white male.
Gnithruth, Gunruth, Kudwilm, Lizrit, Sublilha.
Why is he doing the Cthulhu chant?
Good day, Barnes.
Hello, Dr. Watson. How are you? I didn't hear you enter.
Are you busy?
I was
Am
too busy
disturbing
summoning
you?
an elder
Not
god.
at all. I was researching, but if you came to see me, it must be that you're looking for something specific. Perhaps I can help you?
God, are we going to have to face Cthulhu again because of you? Son of a bitch.
A very strange affair, bewildering even, has brought me to see you. An affair involving a Spanish cape and a one-eyed, one-armed man.
Cape Trafalgar.
Most certainly. You will find the works dealing with naval history on one of the shelves somewhere.
It's Nelson.
Thank you. I'll go look.
For God's sake.
I'm quite occupied, Doctor. Excuse me.
I can't believe you went to all that trouble to stop this thing before, and now you can see him looking at the book filled with Cthulhu imagery, and he's been rolling around on the floor, and you're not gonna even bother. Well done, Watson. Well fucking done. Anyway. The great English seaman. Horatio Nelson. First Viscount Nelson. The supposed what? Bell tower with a sculpture that he made out of clay and bride ships representing the supposed offspring of the Duke of Kent and a hedgehog. Well, I knew the English aristocracy got up to strange things, but still. Horatio Nelson, first Viscount Nelson. Born in Burnham Thorpe, Norfolk, in 1758, we owe to Admiral Nelson some of the most beautiful pages of the Royal Navy's history. Charged with intercepting Bonaparte en route to Egypt, he conquered the French fleet in the Battle of the Nile, also known as the Battle of Aboukir Bay. Not content to rest on his laurels, in 1799 he captured Naples from the revolutionaries and was made Duke of Bronte in 1800. Emma and Charlotte weren't particularly pleased by that. The death of this unrivaled seaman, who had already given his body in the service of his country, he had one arm amputated and lost the sight of one eye, was his crowning moment. He died triumphing over Admiral Villeneuve during the Battle of Trafalgar, with Kimi Räikkönen taking third place. Despite being inferior in terms of numbers, but through the grace of courage and audacity without compare. A representative tale of Nelson occurred during a former battle where the flag captain warned him that the commander was signalling retreat. Admiral Nelson, convinced they were to be victorious, held a telescope to his blind eye and said, "I really do not see the signal." Thus he continued to battle, coming out victorious. Luckily for him, this joke, that's a reference to... excuse me, that's a reference to the Battle of Copenhagen, where the overall commander had made a signal which basically said, if you wish to retreat, you may, if you think it's prudent. And only one ship actually saw it because of the blinding smoke from the battle. And then when Nelson was told about it, he basically ignored it.
Here's my book, The Great English Sailors. As it happens, I found this book, and...
Excuse me, my dear Dr. Watson, but I am in need of tranquility.
Also, do you have the blood of 5 virgins?
Barnes.
And what do you want to bet that you're not going to bring up to Sherlock the fact that Barnes is trying to summon an elder god? Again. Well, back to see Sherlock on this errand which I figured out beforehand. It's probably the only thing in this game I am going to figure out beforehand, but still...
Now tell me, Watson, what progress have you made? Have you found the meaning of the mysterious signature?
Who is Arsene? Oh! Oh, I get it! Because... Ray... She... Oh... Oh, bollocks. Space... Is that space? Yeah, Nelson.
Your intentions are good, Watson, but you've missed everything of importance.
What? 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 H-O-R-A... But that's just... Who is Arsene? Horatio Nelson? That's what he's...
anagram, Holmes.
That...
The letters in Arsene.
I guess I must have
spell out Horatio Nelson.
I guess just clicking it, there was an added letter or something.
Is somehow connected with the Battle of Trafalgar, won by Admiral Lord.
Anyway,
Nelson,
I got it right.
French.
Bloody
Nelson,
game.
who lost an eye and an arm in battle, has a statue high atop a column in Trafalgar Square. It says that the object of the theft is sitting at his master's feet. There's nothing to steal on this column. We have a map of London here somewhere. Let's see if we can find a site of interest.
Well, aren't there lions underneath Nelson's column? And lions are the symbol of England, so maybe it's something to do with that?
Ha! I found it at last.
At last!
Map of London.
After 2 seconds of searching.
What is there to steal in Trafalgar Square? Show me on the map, Watson.
Show me on the map. Show me where he touched you.
So, according to you, what is there to steal in Trafalgar Square? Show me on the map, Watson.
Map. East, centre, west. I like how that's just all of London. Bank of England, no. Tower of London. Are all these things set out beforehand? Because if that is like just giving away everything. There's Trafalgar Square. Just want to check. No, there's at least more than 6, so I don't know. Let's go to Trafalgar Square.
The only location visible is the National Gallery of Painting, which faces the column.
Why not? Our man wants to steal a painting, but which one? Watson, shall we head out? Let's take a tour of the National Gallery. While you find us a hansom, I'll send a message to Lestrade to have him join us.
A handsome what, Holmes? Who do you want brought with us? Oh, lucky for me, there was one parked right outside.
Ah, Lamb, good timing. Can you give myself and my friend Sherlock a lift?
With pleasure, Dr. Watson. The mistress, Miss Bromsby, gave me the day off. I'll wait for you.
The mistress? What? I mean... Oh, that's Cornwallis on the side, I think. What, does he work as a private cabbie or something?